Women friendships need talking stages. Hear me out, ladies. Hear me out. Women friendships are a different beast in itself. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. And I think we need to come to a point where we normalize that we have an actual talking stage, not only in dating, but for women friendships too. So, what am I talking about? Let's talk about it, women, ladies. So when we're dating, right? We're dating someone. There is a talking stage. What is a talking stage, may I ask myself? And just putting it out there. A talking stage is you're not official, you're not together, but, you're feeling each other's vibe, you're feeling each other's energy, you're also checking out to see whether this person has some red flags, right? Whether this person is what you would consider someone good for you, that aligns with you, that, you're feeling this person out. You're not immediately going, yes, you are going to be the one that I'm going to get into a relationship. You're the one for me. You're not doing that straight away. Your talking stage is a moment, a momentum, a moment for you to be like, are you a good one? Are you a bad one? What is this? Do you know what I mean? And you will never know, I guess, fully until you really know. But what it does, a talking stage, I guess it gives you a moment for you to not rush into something straight away, and it gives you a moment to allow someone to reveal who they are a little bit as well. So a talking stage is kind of important because it gives someone time, because after a certain time someone will reveal who they are, and I think that's important, that if you have a few months or whatever, you get to start to know really this true sentiment of someone and who they are. And I think that's very important with women friendships as well. So let's normalize like having a talking stage for friendships as well, not just in a romantic dating setting. We want to protect ourselves and our heart and our love, and we don't just want to give that straight away. We need to do the same for women friendships, because the reality is, ladies, a lot of women friendships that I'm sure that you've experienced in your life that hasn't turned out well. What I can talk about is my experience as being a woman and having women friendships. Now, what I will say with that is you have to be very cautious, because there are going to be some women that come around you, ladies, that don't have your best interest at heart, unfortunately. And you can find out the hard way. I think we all have at some point. But I think what we need to realize is that women can be jealous, women can be envious, women can be... I think in women friendship groups dynamic, it's a very odd one, because you can get women friendships that, unfortunately can turn out to be quite jealous, envious. Sometimes the motive and intention may not be as pure and as you think it is, right? And then you find out, this person's not my friend. Maybe this person's not giving me the best advice, maybe in a little bit of competition with me, maybe, and sometimes it takes you a few years to even figure this out, right? But I think what society tells us as women is, just get on, you're women, you're a woman, yay, you're best friends now. We need to stop doing this, because like we protect our hearts so much in a dating relationship, right? We also need to do the same with women friendships, because regardless of what the dynamic is, whether it's romantic or platonic, okay, what one thing is true here, and a thing that's never going to change, is that this person may have a lot of influence in your life, okay? So if that is the case, and this person could potentially have a lot of influence in your life, isn't it smart to maybe figure out, okay, let me get to really know this person before I just let this person into my life. Let me really get to ask this person some questions. Let me hang out with this person a few times. Let me really get to know this person before I just start revealing all my inner secrets, my family, my career, my boyfriend, my this, my relationship, my husband, my what, like whatever it is, do you know what I mean? Before I start divulging all this information about my personal self, let me get to know this person. You know what I mean? Ladies, if you have had an experience that a women friendship hasn't gone as well as maybe you expected, or you've been blindsided by a women friendship group, then I would really consider hard about maybe a different approach to this. And when we're introducing a new friendship, a new woman friendship to your life, you know. And I mean, I'll be honest, I don't have any friends at the moment. I'm very content with that place in my life. It may not be for everyone. And if a woman friendship comes into my life, I also will be doing the same, because I've experienced women friendships haven't really added anything to my life, actually just probably added more stress to my life. And so right now I'm happy in my little peaceful bubble, and the women that get it, okay? Sometimes peace comes with no friendships. I'm being deadly serious. Not for everyone. I'm not against friendships, by the way. I'm just saying sometimes you realize you have more peace in your life. I think it's important, like, if you're meeting a new women friendship, right? A new woman. If it's a new friendship, right? I'm not necessarily talking about co-workers where you can kind of, do you know what I mean? But also be careful with co-workers. I will come to another video with that, because don't just be thinking your co-workers are your friends, because they're not, okay? So, new women friendship groups, new women friends that come into your life. Like dating, you have to figure out what is the like kind of intent, like what is this, what is this going to give you value, like is this adding to your life? And I just don't think we should just be getting friendships for the sake of having friendships because you've got no friends in your life, or you feel that you need more friends. Like, I have no friends. I'm very content, okay? Genuinely content in my life. But I get it. It's not for everyone. But don't just feel that you need friends to have friends, to show other people that you have friends, okay? I don't think that will accomplish anything. I think you need to start asking yourself, me included, if a new women friendship comes along my way, I need to ask myself, like, what are they like on the same path as me? Like, if someone wants to go out all the time and drinking and doing that, and that's their life, cool. Is that you though? Do you want to go out every week and get drunk and stuff like that? Do you want to be like out and about outside and doing all these things? If that's not you, and you know that about yourself, don't force it. Do you know what I mean? You got to realize, like, okay, actually, she may be a lovely woman, but maybe that's not for me. You know, maybe that's not for where the path I'm going. You have to ask yourself, like, what path are you on? Where are you trying to get to? And if that is your path right now, and you just want to be partying and doing that, and this is the vibe for you, then that might work out for you. So everyone's life is very different. Everyone, what they want from a friendship is very different. But you have to ask yourself, I guess, like you would when you're dating, what do you want out of this? Like, where do you see your future in this? You know, what is like the end goal here, what we're trying to achieve? And everyone's got different end goals when they're dating, right? Same thing with friendships, right? So, does this add any value to my life? Is it going to help me grow, or is it going to help me maybe become less of what I'm trying to get to? Or is it going to slow down my growth to where I'm trying to get to? And I think what we need to establish here is we need to figure out ourselves first, you know? We need to figure out, like, where am I trying to go first? You know, what am I trying to do here with myself? And maybe you're on a path right now. you need to figure out, like, where's my goal? What am I trying to do? And I think, like, once you figure out, who am I? Am I like more of an introvert, or do I want to be more extrovert? Do I want a friendship group that's maybe going to bring that more out of me? Or do I like being an introvert and I like doing things that are a bit more on a calmer vibration? I mean, you know a little bit of, like, what do you like to do? If you're, like, around a friendship group right now and you're like, oh, every time someone asks you out, you're just like, or your friends never go out and you want to go out, like, you have to ask yourself, like, maybe this is not, like, if every time they're asking me to go out and I just feel dread, do I need to be putting myself in that situation every time? You know, maybe that is not the best friendship for you right now. Maybe you just need time alone. Maybe you need to have a little regroup and review of this friendship and think, maybe I need someone on a similar, more vibration and common interest than me. They're the questions I guess you have to ask yourself. But I think once we ask these questions, we can better go into, like, if a new energy, like a woman, comes around in our lives, we can ask, like, okay, let me figure out whether this person is right for my life right now. You know, just because you're a woman, I'm a woman, yay, we're gonna be friends. No, come on, we're adults. We have to start realizing that we need to be having boundaries, and we need to be having a bit more of a stance and a bit more of a get to know someone before we just let people into our lives, you know, because you hear the horror stories of women friendships, and, you know, the wrath of maybe jealousy and envy and things like that. And it's like, you know, we need to apply the same method as what we do for dating. You know, it's so easy to call a guy a red flag, right? But let's have a look at the friendships that we've got around you, because they have a lot of influence on your life. That's the point I'm trying to say. Anything that has a lot of influence in your life, we need to be checking. We need to be making sure that it's going to add, like, some value and growth and some good vibrational energy to our life, and it's going to be positive for us. And if it's got that much influence, maybe it's not right for us, and we need to determine that. It could be same with a job. It has a lot of influence in your life, right? Same with a boss. They're in your life every day. So is this person good for me? No, it doesn't just apply just to a romantic relationship, you know? But women friendships, I think, are very, very important to apply this to. It's okay. It is okay if there's a woman friendship that comes around you. You're trying to get to know her, like a little talking stage, a friendship talking stage. And you realize, actually, I know that our goals, where we're trying to get to in life, who we are as people, are fundamentally so different. It doesn't take away anything from that woman or mean she's less than or whatever. It just means you're not aligned on the same thing, and that is totally okay. And it is okay to go your separate ways. Actually, it is, if anything, it's being kind to yourself if you realize, actually, this is not going to in any way help me, or even allow me to be the friend that I want to be to someone else. Also, maybe this person may not get anything from you either in that way, and you've realized that is okay, that is totally acceptable. It is your birthright as a woman. It is, you deserve that, and it's you actually having boundaries for your life, and it's you not people pleasing for every second of the day. And because you're a woman, you're meant to be this flower that just everyone's my friend. No, the reality of life is that it doesn't matter how sweet and how lovely someone comes across, you have to be protective of your energy and your life and your growth of where you've come so far. Does it mean push people away? No, it does not at all. Does it mean every woman has bad intentions? Not at all. Does it mean every guy that you date has bad intentions? Not at all. Are there some bad ones? Of course. Same with women friendships. You will find that as well. But can we reduce? Can we, by getting to know someone a bit longer, does that maybe help us maybe figure out a little bit more about this person? I would say so. Does that mean that we will never eliminate something toxic? We don't know, right? We can't just live our lives just fear of everything. No, it's more about taking precautional steps. Don't just because they're a woman, yeah, you're my friend. No, we can't do that. And also, let's talk about if you have got women friends around you that have been around you for a very long time. You have to realize that these friendship groups, sometimes you'll hear about women friendships in a friendship since they're in primary school, since they're in, junior school, senior school, and they've been friends since they were like 10 years old, or you've had a friend that's been around for in your life for years. And I think talking stages can be reintroduced to these existing women friendship groups. I do not think because you've had a woman friendship with another woman for a long time that you completely just have to accept that this is your friend for the rest of your life. You have to realize that people change, priorities change, people's life goals change, people go on a different path. Maybe you've changed as a woman and it no longer aligns with the existing friendship that you have. It's not going to help you grow to where you're trying to get to. It may slow you down. It may not bring the best out of you as a person. You may start feeling some insecurities, some doubts, some this. You may have picked up on a feeling that you no longer see this friendship as what it once was. Do you know why? Because we change as people, we elevate, we grow, we learn more about ourselves. And in that process and path and that journey of life that we learn more about ourselves, we get to understand that we don't need to people please everyone every time. We don't need to just have the same people around us for the rest of our lives because that's what we've been told. Same with family, just same with anything, You can move towns, you can go to a different country, you can experience life, you can change the job. You don't have to be around that toxic family member. You may have had a boyfriend for the whole, for a whole decade, and you realize that's not for me anymore. And it's okay. Same with friends. Because the person has been around you for such a long time, it does not mean that's the person that has to remain in your life, And I think we need to stop feeling guilty as women that we sometimes want to take a different path, and maybe we've had an epiphany, we've had a realization that the trajectory of my life and where it's going is not what it used to be in the past, and that is okay. And you can ask yourself the question, again, is this friendship really helping me, or is it hurting me? Is it growing me, or is it slowing me? Is it, does it fit into my life now? Or does it not fit into where I am anymore? And if it doesn't, it's not your responsibility, but it's your responsibility to review and check the people in your life, because the people in your life will completely change how your life is, And sometimes we have to be honest with ourselves. Even the friend that we've known for such a long time, they may not be good for us right now in our lives, And sometimes it's very hard, but you have to cut people in your life in order to allow the new, realigned energy to come into your life. And it could mean that friendship is good for someone else, but it may not be good for your point in your life. As every 5 years, we change as people, we elevate, we grow, and sometimes we grow at different paces and we go on different paths, and we can't always bring everyone along with us. But then you may find in that evaluation, this friendship is perfect for me, You may not have even stopped to appreciate, actually, this woman friendship is so important to me, and I need to show up a bit more. I need to in that process of like reviewing and doing the talking stage, maybe you will get to know more about this friend that you never knew before. Maybe you've realized that you haven't done enough, maybe, but it's a process. And what I'm trying to say is that we change. This is life. And, it's important that whatever has a strong, heavily influence in your life, that comes with positivity, comes with growth, comes with helping you, and you're also helping them, and you're on this kind of growth together. But if you have like a negative friend, a negative energy, and envious, jealousy, all this, and complaining, and all the time around you, I'm telling you, this will completely drag your energy, your aura, your when I say aura, it's like your energetic field. Do you know what I mean? It will really change the way you show up, and subconsciously you'll start picking up bad things and habits, because when someone is so negative and the energy around you, you're not this person. Unfortunately, you just get dragged into this, and it's very emotionally and draining. And life, I always say, is hard enough as it is. So it's important you surround yourself with very, very good friends. Your friends are very, very play an important part. I think even so much can play bigger importance than some romantic relationships, because they have such an influence on maybe sometimes the way you think, how you approach relationships, how you approach many different things. A lot of people have this. I would say I'm not so much influenced because I don't have any friends. I spend a lot of time by myself, and I like that because I can make up my own. I have my own, I would say, critical viewpoint on things, and I really like that. But when you have a good, like, healed, positive women around you, you'll feel that there is no jealousy, there's no envy, there's no competition. There's just like, I want to see you win. I want to see you win as a woman. I want to see you win as a woman. And she wants to see me win, and I want to give her good advice. I want to point her into the right direction, and I know she wants the same for me. And and it doesn't even need to be about winning. It could be just someone's just, their energy is just good, and you can feel that. You can really, and I think sometimes it's sometimes good to spend time alone. I spend a lot of time alone, and the reason why it's so good, because once you spend time alone, you start to realize, and you really start to see people's like real intentions and things, and you just sit back and observe a bit more. And when you observe, you get to see things, you get to see a lot of things. And so sometimes, just watch sometimes what your friendships are doing, and you'll see a lot by actions and things. So don't just think because you've known them your whole life that they always want the best for you. And sometimes people don't know anything other but then to give a negative vibration, because that's all they were taught when they were kids, or that's something they've been conditioned to think, that this is how they win, by being competitive, by being this, by being this is. And some women really have that viewpoint. And it's a shame, really. Healed women are together and they're uplifting each other. There is nothing better. It's something like every woman loves. Like, it's so, it when a woman gives you a compliment, it's like the best thing ever. It's like, it actually makes you happier than when like a guy gives you a compliment, trust me. And it's just, there's something so like magical about that. I've decided right now, I'm on a path where I just don't have any friends right now. But if a friendship comes along, I will definitely make sure, because I've spent so long to get to this point of peace, this place and the path and the journey that I'm on. And for me to get to this point, go and check my other videos. I've been on a very, very tumultuous journey to get here, and I I can't just have any energy around me. Whether you're a woman and I'm a woman doesn't mean automatically we have to be best friends. If you've been in my life for a long time and you're not, unfortunately, just negative and it's just not an energy that's going to be positive in my life, I'm sorry, you've got to go. I have to cut this energy out of my life. And, and when you get to that point in life, it's okay. You don't need to apologize. You do not need to feel guilty for it. You are doing what is right for your life and for what the kind of woman you're trying to be and achieve. And that is totally okay. If you're trying to achieve to be a positive woman that is just trying to do well for herself and just wants to be at peace and whatever it is, as long as it's not something negative and bad and that's the kind of version of a woman you want to be, then you need to really consider who is around you and who has this influence in your life. And I think you'll get to a point, and I love when you have moments by yourself as a woman, because it allows you to realize that you don't need all the validation from other women. You can start really trusting yourself and really just relying on your own self. And I think it's such a beautiful thing when you get to that point in life. But when you get to that point in life, it's taken a lot of work, a lot of being alone, a lot of shadow work, a lot of looking at your flaws. It's taken a lot. So for you to then allow someone else, and you have to be very selective. Not just with the people you're dating, the people you're marrying, the women friendships that you have around you. So I just want to say, finally, women friendships is not how long you've known this person, whether you've known them 1 day, 10 years. It's about, is their energy aligning to where you're trying to go to in life? Is it going to bring you peace, or is it going to bring you problems? Is it going to help you grow, or is it going to help slow you down in life? Women, peace, I always say it, is a luxury. I hope everyone enjoyed that, and please subscribe. Every single one of you lovely women, please subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed. This is the Nana Journey, and have a lovely